Hi everyone, welcome to the pre-lab for your diffusion lab that we are going to be doing in class. What I have on the screen are some of the materials that you are going to have on the day of this pre-lab, or on the day of the lab. In this investigation, we are looking at how does the mass, or what is the percent change in mass of dialysis tubing, which is a tube like this. How does it change in response to the process of osmosis? So what you are going to be doing is taking these dialysis bags and filling them with an unknown solution. The solutions will be different colored, and what you're going to do is try to figure out which solution, what are the different molarities for the different colors. Now, for this experiment, the control, let me back up. You're going to then tie off this bag. You're going to fill it with 10 milliliters of solution. Note that the dialysis bagging is a little tricky to manipulate. So one end will already be tied for you, as shown here, and then the other end you are going to have to rub a little to get it to separate. It's very, very tricky to do, but trust me, it will separate. Just keep rubbing on this end. You may need to get your fingers wet a little, and then it'll separate. You'll go ahead and fill in the dialysis tubing with 10 milliliters, slowly filling it up with 10 milliliters of your designated color. And then what you're going to do is tie off the end of the dialysis tubing to make sure that no liquid leaks out. So you'll have basically just like a sausage, and inside the sausage is going to be fluid of different color, varying colors. Make sure that you do leave a little bit of space when you tie these. Give it a little bit of space to make sure that there's room. There's room for expansion. And then what you're going to do is take a paper towel and make sure you blot off all the excess water that's inside this portion. Just blot it all off. Make sure you try to get as much inside these crevices here as much as possible. And then you're going to take the mass of this sausage, this solution sausage. You'll need to record the initial mass, and then what you're going to do is you're going to submerge it in about 250 milliliters of plain water. So for our control, we're going to compare how the various solutions, sucrose solutions, change mass, or their percent change in mass, based on how much water they gain. So we need to compare it to something which is our control. So our control is going to be just a tube filled with water. Now you don't know which one the water is. It's going to be one of the colored solution. But you'll know it's the control because when you take the final mass and calculate the percent change, you won't see very much of a percent change. Hopefully it'll be right at zero. But remember, this is a net process, so some water may be entering or leaving slightly faster at any given moment. But you'll take your solution sausage, dry it off after soaking it, and then what we'll do is we'll record the final mass and then calculate that percent change. But your control is going to be the one that has just plain water in the tube and is placed into 250 milliliters of plain water in your beaker, and then is allowed to soak. You'll take it out, you'll blot it dry, and then you'll record the final mass. So some of the things that we are going to try to keep constant is everyone is going to be using the same volume solution in their sausage. We're going to use the same volume of water in your beakers. We're also going to make sure we use the same mass, the same balance every time, so that there's any discrepancies, or if it's not calibrated perfectly, then we're still calculating a percent change in mass. We also are going to keep our temperature the same to make sure that all these solutions are roughly at the same temperature, and we're going to use the same source of water. So how will you know what the molarity of your solution is? You're going to be put into a group with other students that had different color solutions than you did. And then what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to compare how much did your solution sausage change, what was your percent change versus the other. The idea is the higher the molarity of your solution, the more or the most change in mass you're going to see with that particular color. And then the opposite with the least molarity will have the least change in mass, not including the control, which should be at 0. Okay, so when you come into class, I will have beakers with dialysis tubing. I'll have syringes for you guys to use. I'll also have your different colored solutions. And then I'm also going to assign you a specific color that you are going to test. So you're only going to test one color, recording the initial mass, submerging it, allowing it to soak, and then recording the final mass. All right, hope this helped. See you guys soon.